Ladies and gentlemen, I have returned from the cancer ward and am now being crushed by an enormous amount of medical bills. So instead of cooking up some of that sweet methylenedioxypyrovalerone bath salts. It's bath salts. I was gonna cook bath salts, but I dropped out of chemistry in high school, so I couldn't figure it out. It didn't work. So that's why I now have to expose myself to some more cancerous material for your entertainment. Let's dive right in. Stop, just stop the video. Stop it right now. I already have something to say. Sony Legion? What the fuck? I've never seen more obvious fanboyism than this. Also, what does that acronym stand for? Sony Legion Gay Lord TV?
Watching the Sony Legion TV network.
It only does swag, it only does ballin', it only does the rated D. I'm not a linguist. I'm not even a native English speaker, but that is not a sentence.
What's poppin', people? I'm rated D and I've tested positive for swag.
No, you have not.
Now, I didn't want to have to make this video.
Great. Don't.
Because I myself am a PC gamer. Though I'm not someone that exclusively games on PC. PC is, really my second or third choice.
Oh, I see. I guess I'm an Xbox gamer then. Sweet, now I can claim to be one of you, so you'll listen to my shitty arguments. Oh, never mind. That's what you're gonna do, isn't it?
I'm primarily a PlayStation gamer. I also like Nintendo quite a bit. And PC and Nintendo kind of switch around for second or third place. It depends on, the time of year, what games are out, things like that.
It depends on the time of year? What the fuck does the time of year have to do with gaming preferences? Oh, it's finally winter, now I can play on my PC again. It doesn't make any sense.
I'm ashamed of myself to be calling myself a PC gamer sometimes.
Then don't. I have a feeling we probably wouldn't want you anyway.
When I see how the PC community behaves here on the internet.
Oh shit, I guess that's me. By the way, the console peasant community has also been slinging some shit. It just happens to be factually inaccurate fanboy corporate dick suck shit. But it's shit nonetheless. That's just how these things go. If you don't like it, don't participate.
Recently, I've seen someone really start to get a lot of attention. I think his name is Rags.
You think his name is Rags? You didn't bother looking that up? It's not really that hard. Just type it into YouTube. Really, I think you want to look like you don't give a shit. But the fact you made this video suggests otherwise.
I don't understand what's wrong with this guy. I think he needs to take a look in the mirror, really.
I know someone else who needs to do that. And I'm not naming any names, but it's you. I was talking about you.
I don't understand why people like him feel the need to bash on these console peasants.
Because it's fun. You are also a console peasant, by the way. You can stop pretending to be a PC gamer now. We can all see through the bullshit.
I don't understand it, because PC has its fair share of problems that these PC nerds don't want to accept.
Just because PC has problems, we should totally ignore all the ways in which Sony and Microsoft are ripping off the poor peasant race? I think not, for we are the glorious PC master race, defenders of the weak, protectors of the feeble. With the Lord GabeN at our sides, we will vanquish all evil from the lands of gaming. We will not rest until all peasants have been elevated to the master race. All hail Lord GabeN, Steam sales be upon him.
Let me just run through a few real quick, okay? Because I'm totally 100% unbiased.
What? Are you being serious there? I really hope you're kidding, because no one is unbiased. Not me, not you, not even our Lord GabeN, Steam sales be upon him.
And I call it like I see it,
There you go, you call it like you see it. That isn't unbiased. I will probably see it very differently.
As an Assassin's Creed fanboy...
Seriously? An unbiased Assassin's Creed fanboy. The lack of self-awareness is stunning. Unless you're joking, in which case you need to work on your delivery, because I can't tell.
I still enjoyed Assassin's Creed Unity quite a bit, okay? And I got that on PS4. Now, the game at launch, yes, it had technical problems, yes, it had frame rate problems, but the game still worked.
What? You can't list a few ways in which the game didn't work and then tell me the game worked. You gotta pick one. It worked, or it didn't.
There were some levels early on in the game, there are these stained glass windows in these churches where when you were around them, the frame rate would dip quite a bit. Sometimes when you're around Notre Dame, the frame rate would dip. There was also a sneaking mission early on. In that mission, there was some frame rate drops as well. But at the end of the day, there weren't that many areas where the frame rate was bad.
Actually, the frame rate was unplayably bad in 100% of the areas, because the game had a 30 FPS cap, and consoles couldn't even keep up with that. So saying the game worked well is an outright fucking lie.
Okay, and again, at the end of the day, the game was still playable.
No, it wasn't. It ran at 900p and 30 FPS.
The characters still looked right. Compare that to PC, where many people couldn't even run the game. For a lot of people, the characters were not showing up on screen properly. You guys saw those now infamous bugs. I mean, the game was a mess on PC.
Yeah, it wasn't pretty. There were some really serious issues on PC, but not everyone was experiencing these problems. It was mostly limited to people with AMD hardware, so plenty of gamers could run it just fine. Also, these problems eventually got fixed. And, I would argue it was too little too late, but the console versions are still running at 900p 30 FPS.
And that's because the majority of people that matter game on consoles.
What the fuck does that even mean? People who matter? The only people who matter are people who pay. No one gives a flying fuck what important people play on what platforms.
So developers don't care to appeal to the PC community so much. You know what I mean?
I really don't know what you mean.
It's always going to be consoles first and then PC second.
No, it's always going to be money first. Consumers second. It shouldn't be that way, but it is.
And one of the reasons for that may be, now I'm not saying this is it, but it may be just one of the reasons that so many PC gamers pirate games.
That makes absolutely no fucking sense whatsoever. Are you really suggesting that developers intentionally make their games run bad on PC to punish pirates? Now, something like that does happen from time to time though. Some developers intentionally leak a bugged version onto torrent websites to mess with pirates. But they always make sure that people who actually bought the game aren't affected by this. It would be immensely stupid to discourage people from buying a game just so you can also punish pirates. No one would buy any games. The reason many of these games don't run well isn't because of pirates, it's because of publishers. Publishers who force developers to release games before they're done.
I mean, do you guys remember when Far Cry 4 came out? There were a lot of PC gamers complaining about some stuff in the game not working right, and then the developers came out and said, hey, if you're having these issues, that means that you pirated the game, because normal working versions of the game that people buy, we made sure don't have those problems, but we made sure that the pirated versions do have these problems.
Exactly. The normal PC version didn't have those problems. So what the fuck is your point?
And this is also the same Ubisoft who at one point said that over 95% of their games on PC that people play are pirated. That's insane.
There's also absolutely no evidence to support that claim whatsoever. In fact, Ubisoft later said that that number only applies to some specific games in some specific regions. It is actually a lot more likely that they twisted those numbers to justify their insane always online DRM that they were trying to push at the time. You cannot in good conscience claim that 95% of people playing any Ubisoft PC game have pirated that game. It's just not true.
And then you look at the recent sales numbers for Titanfall. EA says the game has sold over 7 million copies on PC, Xbox One, and Xbox 360. Meanwhile, Respawn in the past have said that they had over 10 million players on Titanfall. What does that mean? It means that 3 million pirated the game on PC.
No. The developer never said they had 10 million active players. All they said was 10 million. That could mean 10 million minutes played or 10 million in-game kills. There's just not enough evidence for you to make the claim that 3 million people pirated the game on PC. Why would anyone even want to do that anyway? The game died within 6 months on PC because it wasn't very good. There are just too many better FPS games to play on PC. Of course, on console, people didn't really have a choice. There was just nothing else to play FPS-wise. But that's console for you.
PC has its fair share of problems, and it's largely because of pirates, okay?
No, not okay. You are full of shit, and you know it.
Now, moving on from that to another point that's kind of connected to it. Consoles don't really have complications.
Consoles don't have complications? What? Have you ever heard of a little something called the Red Ring of Death? I would call that a fucking complication.
You know, everything, it's that one piece of hardware, and, you know, developers deal for that specific type of hardware, and that's it.
Are you saying choice is a bad thing? Are you really arguing people shouldn't have the freedom to pick and choose whatever parts they want because that's harder for developers? Would you like a Subway where the only option is a bun with a single slice of cheese? Because that'd be a lot easier for the guy making your sandwich.
You don't have, 100 different types of PlayStation 4s the way you can have hundreds of different types of PCs. All these different drivers, graphics cards, all that type of stuff. So you have an easy, simple, basic, solid setup with consoles. You end up with a very solid gaming experience on consoles.
That'd be fine if it were true. You said earlier that some games have performance issues even on this one simple and basic system. And it is really simple and really basic. If consoles ran at a consistent 1080p 60 FPS, I would have a lot less problems with what you just said. But they don't, do they? They run like shit.
Because everything has to be structured for that specific piece of hardware. Whereas with PCs, because of so much variety, you can have tons of complications.
The fact that you can customize your PC also means you can fix almost all of these problems yourself. With a console, you have to return it to the store and hope you get your money back.
That's one of the reasons that there were so many different issues with Unity on the PC.
No, the issue with Unity is that it's a very accessible engine, which means inexperienced developers can make games with it, which in turn leads to games that are poorly optimized. A lot of great games run on Unity and work just fine, like City Skylines, Kerbal Space Program, Superhot, Ori and the Blind Forest, Besiege and Subnautica.
And moving on to my last point.
Oh, thank GabeN, it's almost over.
You don't really have a lot of exclusives on PC, at least that are worth it,
Oh, good. Not this shit. Listen, who the fuck are you to tell me what PC exclusives are worth it? There are entire genres exclusive to PC, from RTS to flight sims to MOBAs. All of those only really exist on the PC. Things like Counter-Strike or Dota aren't worth my time. I can play games on my PC that came out before the first Xbox even did. How can you possibly say that PC doesn't have any worthwhile exclusives? Here's a little chart. Granted, it is from 2013, but I think it still shows what I'm trying to say.
With consoles, you have tons of high-quality exclusives that people all over the place, are championing as being some of the greatest games ever made.
Ooh yeah, great games like The Order 1886.
You know, and I don't think it's any coincidence. And my buddy Dobby Potter has made tons of videos about this.
Yeah, I'll make sure to avoid those.
That so many PC fanboys are making petitions begging for these different exclusives on consoles.
The reason people are petitioning publishers to port those games to PC is because there's no valid reason for them not to. All those games work just fine on PC. The only reason they don't port them over is because no one would buy consoles if they did. The reason nobody is petitioning PC games to come to consoles is because they either wouldn't work, like RTSs and MOBAs, because they require a mouse, or because they are made by small indie developers who couldn't afford the cost of porting them over.
You know, I mean, you look at games like Uncharted 4, The Last of Us, God of War, Days Gone is looking amazing. I can't wait to play that. You know, Gran Turismo, Ratchet & Clank, The Last Guardian, you know, all these great exclusives on PlayStation, and then Nintendo as well. Don't forget, Nintendo's got 3D Mario games, you got Zelda, you got Smash Bros, you got Mario Kart, a lot of great games on Nintendo platforms as well.
We can play Nintendo games on PC. It's called emulation.
Even Xbox, before, you know, Halo and Gears were exclusive, no longer, but you know, at one time they were.
Now, if only they put it on Steam.
And, you know, you don't really have these big name games on PC that are exclusive. You know what I mean? And that's the biggest problem with PC at the end of the day, is that it doesn't have exclusives that are worth it.
No, it doesn't have any games like World of Warcraft, League of Legends, Counter-Strike, Dota, XCOM and Civilization. I could go on, but I think you get my point.
For me personally, the only PC exclusive that I got was Metro 2033, and that ended up coming to consoles later on as well. So there's just not that much on PC in regards to exclusives. There's just not. I mean, as far as quality goes, sure, you may have these bad indie games here and there, but you see the reviews on Steam. These games are not good.
Jesus fucking Christ. I'm not going to repeat myself again. I disproved this idiotic bullshit several times already and I'm not doing it again.
So, you know, that's really it. I mean, PC doesn't have worthwhile exclusives the vast majority of the time.
Please kill me.
And you have all these other issues, you know? So, next time you have these PC nerds that feel the need to rag on console peasants, yeah, I think you need to slap them with some information to shut them up, because they're really getting out of hand right now.
Is that what you think you just did? Slap me with information? I don't think you said a single fucking thing that was actually true in that entire piece of shit video.
Like I said, I'm ashamed at times to call myself a PC gamer because of these clowns.
Oh, that's right. You call yourself a PC gamer. Do you really believe anyone will fall for that?
So that's it for this video, guys. Thanks for watching. Keep it frosty.
Keep it frosty? But you know what? I'm not even gonna say anything about that. Thank you very much for watching, and if you liked the video, please subscribe, because the more people subscribe, the more of these I'll be able to make. As always, thank you very much for watching, stay nasty, and goodbye!